This looks like an interesting text here by Mipham Rinpoche, translated relatively recently by Paloma Lopez Landry, if I'm pronouncing everything correctly, which should be at the bottom of that. But it's called, yeah, you see there, the translated by Paloma Lopez Landry, based on an oral explanation of Khentrul Lodro Dai Rinpoche, 2023. So pretty recent, and one of the few texts on dream yoga that you can find on Lotsawa House, which, if you don't know already, is a great resource for Dharma. So much love to Lotsawa House and to Paloma Lopez Landry for this translation. Let's do it some justice by sharing with our Dzogchen group here. So, A Song of Debate Between Waking and Dream States by Mipham Rinpoche. Of course, we have the dream yoga as a kind of theme for us right now. Om Swasti. I bow from the crown of my head to the noble deity Manjushri. I shall now share the following discourse. When it comes to the appearances of last night's good dream and the direct experience of today's waking state, they are similar in that both can produce attachment and similar in that both come to an end. The dream state holds that what appears in dreams truly exists. The waking state holds that what appears while awake right now truly exists. Now awake and dreaming shall debate on who is right. The overly exaggerating daytime state, awake, declares, "Last night's dream, you are the appearance of delusion," to which the magically displaying dream state, dreaming, replies, "Not only I, but you too are the appearance of delusion." Awake continues, "Right now is not delusion, but truly exists. The proof itself is that objects of perception actually appear," to which dreaming replies, "But at night they actually appear too, so that is not conclusive." Awake says, "But right now they are not here, so it is conclusive." To which dreaming replies, "Today's appearances are not here tomorrow, so it is not conclusive." Awake says, "I directly perceive with the senses, so it is conclusive." To which dreaming replies, "But I too directly perceive, so it is not conclusive." Awake says, "My appearances have a lengthy duration and are stable, so they are conclusive." To which dreaming replies, "But everything has a duration, whether short or long, and both are states." Awake says, "When you dream about rock mountains, you can walk unimpededly right through them. I will accept that you are true if this can be done while awake." To which dreaming replies, "This could be done while awake under the right conditions as well, but even while asleep, without conditions, it isn't possible." Awake says, "But this can happen without conditions in a dream." To which dreaming replies, "If that were the case, why is it not always possible?" Awake says, "You dream of deceased loved ones with affection, or of the birth of children and grandchildren that you do not have. I don't have such things." To which dreaming replies, "I do happen to have such things." Awake says, "If their presence does not establish their actual existence, how are children and so forth existent for you? The dead can come back to life, and what doesn't exist can appear. Even though it exists for you, it's the same as if it were non-existent." To which dreaming replies, "What has ceased for you, I do see, and what is not existent for you is born from me. So even though it does not exist for you, it's the same as if it were existent. Awake says, although you enjoyed a feast of delicious food and drink last night, it doesn't ease your hunger or quench your thirst in the morning. To which Dreaming replies, during the day you may nap in a mansion, but this does not protect you from the rain in the following night's dream. Awake says, that has no significance, because it's your own deluded projections. To which Dreaming replies, but feeling of thirst and so on are also based on deluded projections. Awake says, during the day you know that nighttime's dreams are false. How could Dreaming establish that which is seen in the daytime is false? To which Dreaming replies, nighttime experiences expose the falsehoods of the waking state. How could waking experiences disprove dream experiences? At this, Jana, the Chief Justice, intervened, commissioning profound wisdom to attribute this topic of knowledge. Then profound wisdom addressed the two debating parties like this. Now, if you continue arguing in this way, many more details could be provided, but the evidence is already sufficient. I shall cross-examine what you have said. Both of you are true and both false. If left unexamined, you each appear as if you truly exist, but when investigated, the hidden flaw of one exposes that of the other. In reality, you are the same. Both of you lack true existence. However, the dreamer admits that its delusion is delusion, so dreaming is genuinely honest, whereas you, awake, are also delusional, but you deny being so. Still being attached to your position, you have not won your case. Even though dreaming is more dull-witted, it has become more insightful. Even though awake is brighter, it has become more ignorant. The difference of constancy or inconstancy is due to habituation. Further, there's no difference between your two results. Now, awake, follow the example of dreaming, and merge your view and conduct to become the same as his. Having thus spoken, Supreme Wisdom bound awake with the rope of mindfulness and handed it to dreaming, saying, you two should not argue. Coexist harmoniously. If you are in conflict, it will bring the demon of calamity to the 3,000-fold universe, whereas if you are harmonious, you will serve as guides throughout the 3 times. If you understand this, both of you will reap the benefits. From then onward, both awake and dreaming understood that there was no difference between them, no one versus another. Treating everything that is seen and everything that is encountered equally, their dispute was resolved, and their perceptions became the same. Together, awake and dreaming sang the slightly convoluted and nonsensical improvised song. To those who say we are dissimilar and different, you are mistaken, we are similar and the same. Okay, I'll probably not continue singing, but just to give you a taste, of my singing prowess. As few speak of this likeness, even fewer actually understand it. If during the day you know the waking state to be similar and equal to the dream, and if during the night you do not mistake the dream to be a dream, it will serve a very important purpose. Those who are confused about it perceive waking and dreaming as distinct and alternating. If one examines this carefully through the oral instructions of the King of Illusions and does not merely pay lip service to the words, then from the joyful friendship between us, they can taste the sweetness of honey without eating it, enjoy intoxicating playfulness without drinking, and watch an amazing performance without preparations. There is no key point of greater significance, so everyone keep this in your heart. Then, both the waking and the dream state became one. This oneness, moreover, merged with space. The mediator, profound wisdom, Prajna, presented the outcome to the timeless knowing king, Jana, who was delighted, declaring, "Your counsel is very wise. From now on, may you gain freedom, reaching to the ends of space, like the flight of a great Garuda. I confirm on you this royal means of indestructible space. Now uphold it." There the flowers in the garden of space bow and quiver with sweet nectar. Go and partake of it again and again. Its source will never be depleted. There, the daughter of a barren woman contently plays in her perfect, beautiful form. I offer you this ageless queen consort to join in union and delight in. Like nectar compared to vomit, the joy of being in her company will release all grasping and desire towards the pleasures of existence. It is said that then profound wisdom followed this instruction and eventually merged and dissolved into the timeless knowing king. These symbolic words, ornamentally composed in rhythm, are easily understood with careful examination, but hard to understand without examination. They have great significance when they are contemplated, but hold little significance without contemplation. This was written at Denchen Gawa Kyo by the one called D. Okay, so this is, in my humble opinion, completely written in Twilight language, right? So very cool. It's a complete sort of allegory there, and of course, your wisdom ends up discovering that day and night are the same, and through that you rest in your Buddha nature, your enlightened mind. So you have, if you look at the text, you have different words like jhana is your Mahamudra when you're abiding in Dzogchen in the great perfection. So if I'm just abiding, whether I'm talking, eating, sleeping, standing, whatever, uh, that's the greatest mudra you could be in, to be in the great perfection, to not be pulled around by your thoughts. Anything that used to bother you cannot, because there's no grasping. There's a great equalness there, a great oneness and a great equalness, because your mind has been pulled in from all these places where it was preoccupied, it was attached. Many of us right now have little battles going on, little places where we put our mind here with our parents, some thoughts about our parents, some thoughts about school, thoughts about our past. Oh, I messed up last week and I did this. Oh, I gotta do this tomorrow. We have all our minds preoccupations scattered out, but we can actually function without that. You can still love your parents in a deeper, more profound way if they're not preoccupying your thinking mind. You can still work even more efficiently, believe it or not, if you don't think about work. Be in the presence, of course, and allow thoughts to flow when you're dealing with work, but release it. Don't be scared to release it into a great equalness, because the pure presence here now, it's not, you know, uh, although it's not susceptible to the past and the future, the presence itself never goes to the past, never goes to the future. So we only bring the future and the past into it. And then those are clouds, really. Those are clouds. But the waking state and the dreaming state all begin to happen within this sort of effortless abiding in empty cognizance and your awareness nature, your Buddha nature, your sort of true mind, any words you want to give it. At a certain point, the words don't matter as much. When you have a recognition, you familiarize with that recognition of awareness, and then you'll start to notice that everything's sort of just like different movies playing on the screen of a computer. The screen never changes. but it can display anything. So like that, uh, and then also, in modern physics, they talk about these fields that are within empty space. So these fields have infinite potential, right? So just like that, there's a field, a cognizant field here. And then also you can see experiments where sound cannot travel unless there's air. Well, sound cannot travel unless there's mind either, right? It's only logical. So mind acts as a kind of container like that, and you can come into that cognizance, the basis for everything. And that's how dreams and even birth and death happen within that space. So very interesting, very metaphorical text. I'm happy that I stumbled upon that. Any comments? Anything sharing? I was getting kind of annoyed by their argument at first. Like, stop arguing day and night, or awake and dreaming. But then wisdom came in and saved the day, thankfully. Well, that text didn't take very long to read. Anybody have any more discussion today or anything like that going on? I figured we should hold off on the Dream Yoga book because those people in the other session will miss it. So I do have a few others, but right now I think that's fine. A song of debate. Maybe next time I'll try to sing it, okay?